Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kirsty and I just really like doing makeup. I'm not by any means an expert. This is just something that I do for fun and that I enjoy doing. I like to play around with fun colors, unique designs, and just have fun with it and break all the rules. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please stick around and consider subscribing. For today's video, we are going to be unboxing and hopefully trying on my Ipsy for the month of April. Now, I know it's been a while since I have done an unboxing because I ran into some issues where I couldn't afford to keep up my boxes, but I used part of my stimulus money this year, earlier in the year, to pay for a full year. And actually, this is the second bag I've gotten since I did that. I did not get a unboxing filled out for my first one, but I'm here now. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and get this opened up. Okay. And there is nothing in the bag like hanging around loose in there, so that's good. Now then, this is the bag for this month. It's actually really pretty. It's canvasy and it's got almost like a summery, deserty theme to it. The zipper is a little leaf. It's really cute. Okay. And then the first thing we're going to bring out is the little card that tells us everything that is in the bag. We'll get to that in a little bit. So let's see. First thing we're going to pull out is a squeezy tube. It's the My Skinny Mask Australia Turmeric and Vitamin C Clay Mask. The packaging is a little deceptive. It looks like it's this big, but this much of it has absolutely nothing in it. But here is that. And I'm definitely looking forward to trying this out. Okay, it does have a little safety seal. Let's go ahead and pull that off and give it a smell. I'm kind of weird about things that have strong smells on my skin. It definitely looks turmeric-y, but I don't smell anything, so that's good. So let's go ahead and move on to the next product. We'll pull out another squeezy tube. This is the Verify 2020 Phytocollagen and Peptides Eye Cream. Gold writing is kind of hard to see, but I can always use a good eye cream. As you can see from my lack of makeup, my dark circles are not at their best right now. Okay, we've got another little squeezy tube. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. And I know there is a lot of diversity on opinions of eye primer. I personally think it is absolutely necessary. It makes your vibrant colors show up better. It keeps your makeup where it's supposed to be. And it's just very, very important. So I'm looking forward to giving this a try. Up next, for my fourth product, ooh, Goldfaden MD Problem Dry and Aging Skin Solution Wake Up Call Overnight Regenerative Facial Treatment. Okay, so this is like a sleeping mask, and I have tried some Goldfaden products that my mom has gotten in her Ipsies, and they are absolutely fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a try. And so far, this is mostly skincare, so there's not going to be a whole lot to try on. So I'm probably going to have to reach into my makeup bag for the month, which I will explain in a little bit, in order to actually create a look. Because we are down to the last item, and it is from Nomad Cosmetics. It is Toscana. I may not be saying that right. It is an intense eyeshadow, it says. So let's pull it out and see what it looks like. Okay, intense eyeshadow Eprevito. I'm assuming that would be the shade name, and it is just a little bitty pot of eyeshadow. Now, I really like Nomad Cosmetics. I've gotten a palette from them in the past that I absolutely love. got all my favorite color types in it, which is like the dark grungy colors and fun colors. This one. It's kind of a light shimmery pink shade, I think. Let's give that a swatch on the back of my hand. Yeah, that's a very light, very shimmery pink shade. So I don't know that I can necessarily create an eye look with this all on its own. But this is the shade that I got. So there's only 2 technically makeup products in here. So I will definitely be reaching into my makeup bag for the month. And the thing with that is because I have so much makeup that I don't use anywhere near as often as I should, I've started creating a bag each month where I place products that I don't use that often and force myself basically to use them. And it's also a way for me to go through and clean out my collection, because if I don't absolutely love a product after using it for a month, it goes in the toss away bin, which might seem wasteful to some people, but I've got so much that if I keep everything, I end up with products that I never use. So we will definitely have to get into that some. And I change this out each month. It's a series, it's different products. And starting next month on the 1st, I will record a video where I pull through my makeup and figure out which products I'm going to use for the month of May. So we will definitely be doing that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is, since I did get an eye cream, and only skincare I've done so far is that I have washed my face, we are going to go ahead and give the Verify eye cream a little try. Just a little bit of that on the back of my hand, because with eye creams a little bit goes a very long way. It is quite a thick product, so hopefully it will do what it is supposed to do. And I'm going to pull one of my little makeup mirrors out here to use for applying my products rather than trying to pull out my bigger mirror. And I'm just going to tap a little bit of that very gently under the eye. It goes on really, really smooth. It feels nice on the skin, so I really like that. And it absorbs pretty quick, not like too quick where your skin just immediately soaks it up because it's so dry that it needs the moisture right away, but it does absorb rather quickly. It's not just sitting there taking forever to get rubbed in. So that's good. I'm just making sure I get all of that off the back of my hand just so that I'm not wasting anything at all. And it feels, like I said, really nice on the skin. It leaves like the silky smooth feeling across the skin, which is what you want under your makeup. I do not have a moisturizer close by. A daytime moisturizer anyway, so I guess I will use just a very tiny, tiny, tiny amount of this gold fat, and it is also safety sealed. So we will take just the tiniest little bit of that, because you don't want anything too heavy underneath your makeup. And I will gently melt that between my fingers and just around the face. Make sure you get your especially dry areas, which for me is right here on the nose, right here on the nose, across my forehead, and across my cheeks. I do need just a little bit more of that, because it wasn't quite enough to do the whole face, even with just a very thin layer. So just a tiny little bit more. It's got a really nice, clean, citrusy smell to it, which tells me it probably has a little bit of vitamin C, because almost anything that smells citrusy has vitamin C, which is always good for the skin in small amounts. You don't ever want to do anything, overdo anything on the skin. Just gently rub that in. Okay, it feels all nicely moisturized. Give that a minute to soak in. Now, I will be using the Sophie and Mabel I Woke Up Like This primer. This is actually a primer that came in my bag last month, so I will probably actually pull quite a few products from last month's bag just so that you can kind of get an idea of how they work as well. So this is from last month's bag, and I've been using it. It is a clear gel-like primer. I can get the lid back on. There we go. Okay, and like I said, it's just a clear primer. I'm going to take an eye across my forehead, across my cheek, across my other cheek, across my chin. And I do it that way so that it is more evenly spread across the face. And I just gently rub that in again, just like I do with the moisturizer, just to ensure an even layer. And I do go over my lids just a little bit with what's left on my fingers. This is a very silicone-y feeling primer, so you don't want to go too much on the lids, because otherwise you will end up with very oily lids, and you don't want that, because that's not what you need to hold your eyeshadow on your face. So we've got that all rubbed in. And while I let that set on my face for a minute, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the little card. And let's see, we can get some full-size prices of these products. So the Nomad eyeshadow, it is supposed to be a shimmery rose quartz. And yes, the shade name is Aprevito, which is not English. It says, the shimmery rose quartz shadow is the perfect shade for spring, and thanks to grapeseed oil, this moisturizing formula has the most incredible color payoff. I don't know about color payoff, because it is very, very light, even on my light skin. Oh, it's got a nice shimmer to it. I bet that would make a really pretty highlighter, too. And it says it is actually suggested to use it as an inner corner highlight, so that's what I kind of figured. And the full size of this is $27, but that's for 13.5 grams, whereas this little bitty thing is less than half an ounce, which is 1.5 grams, so not even a tiny little bit. Okay, the next thing is the Gold Faden. It says, beauty sleep is real, people. At night your skin enters repair mode, and this treatment gives it a boost so you can wake up glowing. It contains retinol to smooth the lines, coenzyme Q10 to fight free radicals, and avocado and grapeseed oils to deeply hydrate your skin while you sleep. And the full-size version of this, which is 50 milliliters, whereas this is 12, so 1/5, just over 1/5 of the amount, is $85. Which is why I'm always glad to find samples in my bags, because there's no way I could afford to buy this. Okay, so next up we have the Verify Eye Cream. Give your delicate eye area the TLC it deserves with this Do It All Eye Cream. The magic inside the bottle: depuffing cucumber extract, brightening niacinamide, firming peptides, and phytocollagens, plant-based actives that boost collagen production and hydration levels. Oh, it says that you can also use this as an eye primer. But since I got an eye primer, that's the one I will be using instead. And the full-size version of this is 15 milliliters, whereas this is 5, so this is 1/3 of the amount, is $60.38. That's a lot. So I hope I don't absolutely love this. Next we have the My Skinny Mask Turmeric and Vitamin C Clay Mask. It says, get your glow on with this Australia-made brightening mask. It uses natural sources of vitamin C, like turmeric and kakadu plum, to fade dark spots and even skin tone, and Australian clay to purify pores and to boost circulation for a healthy glow. And the full-size version of this is 65 grams. This is 20 milliliters. The full size is $35. Or not 35, 53. One of those times when my dyscalculia got the better of me. $53 for the full size of that. And last but not least, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Mini Eye Primer. When we spend precious time perfecting our eye looks, we want them to last and last. This water-resistant primer creates a smooth base for your cream, powder, liquid, or loose pigment shadows to blend on flawlessly and stay put all day. Plus, the light hue makes colors pop. And the full size of this is 7 milliliters. This is 2. And is $13. So that's actually not quite so bad. And speaking of, that is the next thing that we will be doing, is trying out this eye primer. It does not have a safety seal, so... Oh wow, that is a very liquidy eye primer. Very liquidy. Like, I'm almost afraid to show you because I'm afraid it's going to run down my finger where I applied it. But it is a very liquidy eye primer. I definitely tend to prefer a thicker eye primer. We're just going to tap this onto the lid and spread it out evenly. And I am using my finger because I feel like the body heat of the finger helps to spread things more evenly versus using a brush. Okay, a little bit goes a very, very long way. I could almost use this as a concealer. It's so light. I'm going to go ahead and get that all the way around the eye, just because it is so light and bright. But it does seem to have good coverage. It is absolutely hiding what is there of my dark circles, as you can absolutely see. Although it does make the redness on my face stand out that much more. And I'm just taking the tiniest little dab. And again, just pressing that into the lid and the inner corner and underneath. Grab just a little bit more of that since I'm going to go underneath as well. Just press that in nicely. There we go. Seems to help that. So let's see, what eyeshadow do I want to use with this? You know what? I'm going to go in with my Dulce palette. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is the Freematic palette. Oop. Mirror glares awfully. There we go. Now, I have kind of rearranged some of the shades in here because it is just a little magnetic palette and it works really, really well for that. And I think today I'm just going to go in very lightly and just create a soft look, kind of a no makeup type look. So I'm going to go in with this little double-ended brush. This was a Farrah brush. And I'm going to go into the shade Kinsley, which is number 99. It is this really pretty, light, almost nude shade right here with the fluffy end of my brush. And I'm just going to tap that all over the lid. Everywhere. Just for a light base color that almost doesn't look like it's there at all. And repeat that on the other side. And I like to use this one with the fluffy brush because it just spreads the product everywhere I want it really quickly, really easily, blends it out. It doesn't take forever. And I actually really like the Farrah brushes. I know there's kind of mixed reviews on it, because some people say they are cheap, and honestly the handles are lightweight plastic, so they do feel kind of cheap, and if they're not properly cared for, the bristles can get kind of rough, but that's okay too. Now then, I'm going to take the other end of this and I'm going to go into the shade Hannah, which is right here. It is number 99, I think, if I saw that correctly. 91. Okay. Like I said, just taking a little bit of that on the flat end of the brush, and I'm just going to pull that through the crease, focusing primarily on the outer corner, just to give that a little bit of depth and dimension, and bring my outer corner up. And y'all will notice I have not done my other makeup yet, my face products. I will do those in a bit after I finish my eyes and get them how I want them to look. Okay. Because I'm definitely going to be correcting the outer corner on this because the shadow got a little bit lower than I wanted it to. But that's okay. And just repeat that on the other eye. And, I mean, I'm going to try to get back into a regular posting schedule. I know I never really had a regular posting schedule to begin with, but I am going to try to get back into posting more frequently. I am absolutely open to any and all ideas that anyone may have that they want to share with me. Just leave those down in the comments, and I will see if I can create a video around the idea that you come up with. I mean, I'm open to color suggestions. Product suggestions are a little bit harder because I am, again, on a fixed budget, and therefore I can't just go out and buy the newest product as soon as it's released. But I do try my best anyway. If y'all want to see my skincare routine, I'd be happy to do that for you. And y'all will notice I'm bringing the brush up from underneath to apply because I do have hooded lashes, and bringing it up from underneath ensures that, and doing it with my eye open, ensures that I'm actually making the product visible on my crease, as y'all can see. Feel a little bit of an up close here. Okay, so we've got that. Now then, I'm going to go in with a packing brush. This brush is not exactly clean, but it's one that I've used for this exact same shade before. And I'm going to go into, it is the shade Courtney, which is the shimmery neutrally shade here. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to pack it onto the lid. I'm going to go about halfway over and into that outer corner again, that outer V area. Just like that. And of course, this is not turning out anywhere near as no makeup as I was initially said I was going to do, but that's okay. Because I like bolder colors. I like to have fun. I don't like simple looks as much as I probably should. Okay, and we've got that. Again, about halfway across the lid. Now then, I'm going to take, where is it? This brush. Now, this brush was also in last month's Ipsy. It is the Makeup of the Day, MOTD, Flawless Finish Blend. And I'm going to use this brush in the Nomad Cosmetics that we got today. And I'm going to take this, and with this shade, I'm going to go the other half of the lid all the way into that inner corner. And just kind of blend that in very lightly. And again, this is coming off as a very pink, shimmery shade. I really like it. I do not really love this brush, I'll be honest. But I wanted to use it just to give y'all an idea of how it looks and works. And like I said, I'm going to try to pull as many of the products as I can from last month's Ipsy to use as well. This actually came in a bag that I tried to sign up in January and didn't turn out as well as I had hoped it would. Because this was actually in my attempt to go back to getting both regular Ipsy and Ipsy Plus, but I ended up not being able to afford both, so I only got one Ipsy Plus bag, and that's this one. Okay, I think I'm going to take just a little bit of this on the same brush and go right up here under the brow. And y'all will notice I still don't do my brows. I just don't. I brush them out. That's about it. And I do that after I get my eye makeup done, just so that it's not going to interfere with that part of my makeup. Okay. I'm actually really liking the formula of this, which I'm not surprised. I love the formula of the Nomad Cosmetics. The shade, again, is a little bit lighter than what I really like. But for an inner corner highlight, underbrow highlight, I might even toss it on as a cheek highlight when I get done. I like it. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, which I'm going to do that off camera, and then we will come back in just a minute. Okay, so I've got my foundation and concealer on. My foundation, for anyone that's wondering, is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made in the shade L30. This is actually a little bit warmer than my actual skin tone, so I do have to bring it down a little bit further and blend it really well on my neck. I actually have cool undertones, so this is not my ideal shade, but it does get the job done. And then my concealer that I'm using right now is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye in the shade 20.0 Medium Neutral. I don't know if that's going to focus or not for you to see, but you can kind of get an idea of the color there, and it actually blends really, really well. It's a very thick concealer, so a little goes a very long way. I actually ended up getting too much, as you can see. And I use the brush. This is a Laurice LR375 flat powder brush, which is what I actually use to apply my foundation and get it nicely blended. I like the way it feels on my face. It's an excellent brush. This came from my attempt at doing, I actually got a full set of these that came from my attempt at going back to having both the regular Ipsy and the Ipsy Plus. And it even gets like up underneath the eye really well. So I really like that. So now then, to show y'all how I clean up my under eye, or my eyes, I take this little brush. This is from a cheap set that I bought at Walmart online back right around Christmas, because I bought my mom a set with different color handles, and it was a massive amount of brushes. They were cheap. They're not the best quality, but they get the job done. And what I do is I take and I go just from the outer corner, and I will either use my foundation or eyeshadow, or not eyeshadow, but concealer, whatever product I've got readily available, and I just create the line that I want for my eyeshadow. And I do that with just the very edge of the brush right along the line that I want it to have. And that gives it just a clean, smooth line, and just gorgeous. And all it takes is just the tiniest little dip on the very edges of the brush. And again, this is a cheap brush. Expect it to be lesser quality. And I just go, personally, I go from the bottom of my outer corner, and I go up towards my eyebrow. And then you can see that line right there from the concealer, and I just blend that away so that it's not a sharp line all the way down. And you can see right there, it just makes this perfect crisp line on the outer corner of the eyeshadow, and just keeps everything neat and clean and pretty. And sometimes I end up taking more than what I intend to. I go a little bit further in than I mean to, and when I do that, I can just go in with the little packing brush. It's not the one I was using. Where is it? This one is the one that I was using. And I could go back into the color, which was the second color I used, which is the Hannah, which is number 91. And I just ever so gently tap that right back where I want it. And this is not the brush I was using, but it is going to have to work. And I just tap that back into exactly where I wanted it. There we go. And then clean up again, just to keep the edge smooth and straight. There we go. See? Easy peasy. Now then, for the underneath of my eye, I'm going to go in, same brush, into the same shade, which is the Henna shade, and I'm just going to go and connect this outer corner directly under the outer corner of my under eye area, and just ever so gently connect that space. And again, you can clean up again if you need to after you get that done. It's not an issue. Just keep all your lines nice and smooth. And I don't want to pack that on too much because I don't want it to be too dark under there. But you can kind of see how I'm doing that. And yes, I do need to clean that up again just a little bit because it got a little bit offline. There we go. Got that all cleaned up beautifully. And the same on the other side. Again, just a little bit on the very edge. And you connect that together. As you can see, that's all I'm doing is just connecting the outer corner to the underneath in an upward motion because you don't want to bring your outer corner down. Makes your face look droopy. And then I take on a little liner type brush. This is from that same cheap Walmart set that I bought. And I'm going to go into that goldeny shimmery shade, which is Courtney, number 53. Again, just on the edge of the brush, in the outer corner, or not outer corner, but in the middle of it, connecting the matte shade in, bringing that towards the inner corner, but not all the way in because I'm going to go in with some of the Nomad on that. And again, on the other side, stopping right about the edge of the lash line and bringing that out to blend in with the, like I said, darker matte shade that I used, which was Henna. There we go, and you can kind of see how that is looking. So I'm just gonna tap this into the Nomad Cosmetics shade that I got in today's Ipsy. And that's gonna go into the inner corner here. And right here, just up along the edge of the nose, very edge, right in here, just outside of the tear duct. And I'm going to repeat that on the other side. There we go. And there is the finished eyeshadow look. And while I've got this brush out, because it's got the little angled end, I'm just gonna comb through my brows just a little and give them the direction I want them to go into. There we go. See? Okay. And for eyeshadow, actually, since I got the Nomad, or the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer, I'm going to go ahead and give the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara a try too. Again, this came from the January attempt at renewing my Ipsy Plus. I have not even opened this yet, so let's give it a look. Okay, it's got one of those little hourglass type shaped brushes, and it's got the fluffy bristles, which I like. So let's give this a shot. Okay. I'm almost afraid to try to use this on my bottom lashes because it is so big and fluffy. But, oh wow. Oh wow. Can y'all see that difference? Wow. That's all I can say. I am very much impressed with this mascara. And now I kind of hate myself for having had it since January and not tried it. But I have so many mascaras that I really need to go through and get rid of a bunch of them. Okay. There we go. And I am going to try very gently to get this on my lower lashes as well. And it's something that you can do. If you get mascara on your eye makeup, let it dry and then go through very gently with a spoolie, a clean spoolie, and remove what got on your face. And it'll just brush away. If you're extremely gentle, you don't want to be rough with it or anything. You're not trying to scrub your mascara away. You just very gently remove what got on your face, and it won't mess up the rest of your makeup either. Okay, and there we go. I don't love the way it does on my bottom lashes, but part of that has to do with the fact that I'm almost afraid to get in there with it because it is such a huge brush. Okay, so I'm going to just toss on some blush and bronzer and a lippy, and then I will come back and use the Nomad Cosmetics eyeshadow as a highlight, and we will finish up this video, and I'll be back in just a few. Okay, so for my bronzer and highlight, I just used the In the Balm of Your Hand Greatest Hits Volume 2, bronzer in the shade Bahama Mama, and blush in the shade Frat Boy. For my lipstick, I used the Cargo Cosmetics in the shade Paris. And then I'm going to add, as soon as I figure out where I put it, got a lip oil that came in last month's bag that I'm just going to add as a topper to that. Maybe. Or maybe not. Anyway, so I've got this brush, which is the Laurice LR308 highlight brush, which I will be using to apply just a little tiny bit of this Nomad Cosmetics as a highlight to my cheekbones, because it is slightly pink. I don't want to go overboard with it, but I go up across the cheekbones and up around the corner of edge of the temple, and I really like it. It's gorgeous. It adds perfect shimmer to my face, but you don't really know what's going on, what's causing it. And just a tiny bit to the bridge of my nose, just the bridge. There we go. And that is the finished look. If you have enjoyed this, or you just want to see more of what I create, please subscribe, like, comment if you have any ideas as to what you would like to see in the future, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!